you doing? It's Paul from Magpie 24/7 with another view from the van. The news just keeps coming. At the moment, Newcastle United may be on the other side of the world, maybe the other side of the Atlantic Ocean, but the news does just not give up. Where to start? Well, we'll touch on Eddie Howe's press conference before, obviously, this evening, tomorrow morning's game against Chelsea in this summer series. And Eddie Howe was sat there with Kieran Trippier, and so not surprisingly, really, journalist questions, a lot of it around transfers, incoming and outgoing. Eddie Howe has confirmed Jamal Lewis is expected to finalise in the next 24 hours a deal to join Watford. Now, it could be on loan, it could be a permanent, it could be a loan to a permanent deal. The finer details are still being ironed out, but he does expect Jamal Lewis to go on, and it just hasn't worked for him on Tyneside. He's a player who came with much fanfare, what, for 15 million quid. We beat Liverpool to his signing, and it just hasn't happened. I mean, injuries have played their part, no doubt about it. He hasn't had the best track record with regards to that, but you know, I spoke on one of these videos earlier on in this pre-season about the fact that, you know, Lewis, he had no future at Newcastle United, and he was playing in these games against Gateshead, against Rangers, purely to put himself in the shop window and purely to prove a point that, you know, his fitness is there. He has, you know, fought his way back, and it was just purely an exercise to get him noticed, and that it has done. He's going to join Watford. I think it's a good move for him. He's going to get, you know, regular action with a club who will hold a hope out of getting promotion back to the Premier League. So it's a win-win. Hopefully he goes permanently, because we don't want another Isaac Hayden situation. We'll get to Isaac in a little bit, but you know, when they go, they just need to go. Or, you know, can't have all this situation where we're just continuously loaning somebody out because they're on absolutely utterly ridiculous wages. You know, club signed up for it, so, you know, they've got to take it on the chin. But we should get some sort of notification around Jamal Lewis over the next day or so. He also spoke about another player who's heading out, Carl Darlow. Purely one of the best chants. I really enjoyed the old Carl Darlow chant, but you know, it just doesn't work carrying 5 goalkeepers. We are overstacked in that department, and Eddie Howe has made his move to let Carl Darlow go. Now, he's been here, what, 9-10 years in total. Again, he's seen action this pre-season. Again, I think it's a case of getting him in the shop window, because, you know, Hull were really keen to take him again, or take him permanently, but they just didn't have the funds. Bournemouth yesterday, there was obviously strong rumours about him joining Bournemouth. However, they've gone for a player from Inter Milan on loan. As soon as that happened, it felt it was literally destined to be Leeds. Even before what happened yesterday with regards to the lad going down there to Bournemouth, you always felt that Leeds possibly could have the stronger hand, because, you know, you're not having to, you know, sort of up sticks immediately and, you know, move to the other end of the country. And Leeds is a massive club. If you're looking at Bournemouth and you're looking at Leeds and you're saying who's the bigger club, then clearly, by a country mile, it's with no disrespect to Bournemouth whatsoever, but Leeds have the history, they have the stadium, the fan base. You know, you're talking about a project to sell to a player, and surely Leeds would have to appeal to you more than what Bournemouth would. Again, with the greatest of respects, you know, to Bournemouth. It's not taking the piss or anything else like that. It's just acknowledging the fact that Leeds is a massive, massive club, and he'll go there and he'll fight it out for the number 1, and he deserves that opportunity. He's been such a pro, such a great professional at Newcastle United. Never complained when he's you know, been dropped, when others have come in. You know, he's waited, he's trained hard, he's done all the right things. He's been heavily involved with regards to community work, so it's with a bit of a heavy heart that you see him go on. Obviously, he was brought in at the same time as the club skipper Jamal Lascelles was brought in originally, if you remember that double deal that we did from Forest way back when. So yeah, it's with a bit of a heavy heart. Leeds are getting a cracking goalkeeper. He'll do great for them in the Championship. and he's a player who he deserves the opportunity to become a number one, a cemented number one somewhere. So brilliant for him. Eddie Howe said that's a little bit further away, but we should hear something with regards to that over the next couple of days type job. So he will be departing the US to go over to West Yorkshire to speak to Leeds and to finalise all of that. And you've got to think, with it getting this deep, obviously agents will have already been involved and stuff like that. You'd imagine it would just be a matter of time before that deal is concluded and Carl Darlow departs. And they're talking about around about £6 million, £6 million quid. And if Newcastle United, if Dan Ashworth has got £6 million quid for Carl Darlow, that's a great bit of business, to be honest. On top of the Wood sale through to Nottingham Forest, on top of the John Joe Shelby deal to Nottingham Forest, it is great work. And they're not the only departures, although he wasn't asked about this in his press conference. There are multiple different people saying that there are deals in place for the other players that we are trying to move on, the likes of Ryan Fraser, Jeff Hendrick, Isaac Hayden, to move on. Now that's from both within the UK and abroad, so there are multiple deals, multiple plates spinning there. And I think with regards to the players that I've just mentioned there, those three in particular, I think anything that we can get for them is welcome. Just to be honest, just to save the wages alone. You're talking about the wages that those three lads is on, the saving that we'll make, and again that can be all reused and all put back into the budget for later on in the window. Because Eddie Howe was talking about income transfers. Now, do I trust the word Eddie Howe says on transfers? No, not really, because he plays a great hand. He'd be a great card player. Because when we were talking about Harvey Barnes recently, he was like, no, not Harvey who? Not heard of him. What are you on about? He was really just playing it down, despite the fact he was on an aeroplane heading to join up with the rest of the camp. He totally and utterly played it all down. And that deal was really quite deep and down the line, and they've been working on it for quite a number of weeks. So obviously Eddie Howe knew a heck of a lot more than what he let on do last time out when he was asked about Harvey Barnes. So this time around he was asked about incoming transfers, and he said, look, we know that we need to do more work. Yeah, I think that's pretty obvious. I think everybody and the mother can see that we need more players through. He said he couldn't put his finger on anything with regards to numbers of players that we'd be looking at, but that we will be doing more business. Now the feeling is that if we can shift some of this players out, there's certainly money in there to do another 1 or 2 permanent deals. And again, looking at speculation amongst the journalists, the bid for Tino Livramento clearly shows that there is cash there to spend. So you would think 1 or 2 more permanent signings through the door, and then the loan market will be looked to be exploited. Now, whether that's just a straightforward loan or a loan to a permanent deal next summer, something like that, I don't know. I think if you're signing somebody, like a Tino Livramento would actually be a great one to get in on a loan. So you loan him now, assess him during the season, assess how that rehabilitation has gone, and then address it next summer, after he's had another 9-10 months under his belt, and take it from there. But I definitely think there will be at least 1 or 2 loan deals coming in. Quite a few players going out. We've mentioned 5 on this video already. There's also the rumours about the likes of Kel Watson over to Wigan, and some other youngsters no doubt leave. So quite a few coming out. I still think there'll be 3 or 4 coming in. I would like to see another striker, but he's been quite adamant in the fact that the budget won't stretch to that. But again, we take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt with Eddie, because like I say, he could just be having us on, he could be sort of pulling our legs. So we'll just take it as we find it. They haven't got much wrong out there in the transfer market, so up to date. So you've got to trust the process. We're 1000% behind the ownership and stuff like that. And speaking of which, we've got a little glimmer into where the ownership and the way that the club is run, with the documentary preview, the trailer that was released this morning from Amazon about this new 4-part series looking back over last season for Newcastle United. If you haven't seen it, oh my word, just watch it. It's absolutely fucking amazing. Great to see Eddie Howe, passionate, rousing the troops. It's great to see some of the other players from the the new ownership group. Amanda's on there, everybody's on there. It's just absolutely fucking fantastic. But the passion and everything else that comes through, even on the trailer, is absolutely and utterly off the charts. And yeah, I for one cannot wait. Just take me money. Take me money. I want to see it. It'll be the best goddamn thing on TV, full stop. And as if the good news, it just doesn't stop. It doesn't stop, because again this morning, yeah, it's major news with the introduction of a fan zone at Strawberry Place. Now, this was land, of course, that was sold off by Mike Ashley. One of his final little sort of, for up yours type things he did to the fans was to sell this land off, because he knew that if this land had been sold off, there was no way to expand St James's Park. So for the club to get the land back, they did it sort of very quietly. They went about it. They put the planning application in really quickly, and they are hoping to have this done by November. If you could get it done by my birthday in the middle of November, that would be absolutely fantastic, Newcastle United. It's great. It's an area of land. It's derelict. It's very much unloved. It sticks out like a sore thumb, to be honest. But it's land that's can very quickly be turned around. These stacks can be put up really quickly. Now, there was the one on Northumberland Street, wasn't there? Was the first one that sort of set all of this off. That one went obviously to clear the way for the development that's happening around there at the moment. But delighted that this is coming back. It was always generally what I thought it would be. I couldn't have seen them spending millions and millions building a fan zone for, in a couple of years' time, potentially to just get rid of that fan zone because expansion plans at St James's Park called for that land to be used to extend the Gallagher, for example, or something like that. So I thought you'd be looking at more the sort of more cost-effective way of doing it. Now, no doubt with the likes of Sela involved as well, it is going to look the dog's bollocks. Looking at some of the pictures and the sketches that have come out from the club today, they're going to have a stage there. They're going to have various different bars, various different sort of eating outlets, different types of food, styles of food. So it's just going to offer more choice and variety, because at the moment, a lot of the time, a lot of people go to St James's Park 10-15 minutes before, grab something, go in, watch the game, and then they're away into the city. If you go to somewhere like West Ham, when I went to West Ham, they've got all the nightclubs and stuff like that. They've got the extra bars. They really are sort of desperate to try and keep you penned in there and still spending at the club and making a whole day event of it. Rather than just the 90 minutes of the game and maybe 10 minutes at either end. But seeing the plans that have come out today, stage for sort of like ex-pros to come back and do stuff, entertainment, music, go and grab a pint or two before the game, go and grab something to eat before the game and after the game. It's absolutely fantastic. It's all extra revenue, of course, for the club, and it means that the club can be earning all the way through the week. So it's not just when Newcastle United are playing, or not just when there's a music concert there, or the rugby's there, or whatever else is being held at St James's Park. It's another revenue stream for all around the week, and it'll take pressure off the likes of Shearers and the Sharp Bar and Strawberry pub and stuff like that. Gives people more different places to go. And again, you talk about atmosphere, it's just another place to sort of build that atmosphere up. There'll be the flags and stuff out there. Just absolutely fantastic. It's a no-brainer. Fuck me, even like the likes of Crystal Palace with their little Sainsbury's supermarket underneath the fucking one of the stands, even they had a fan zone, and it's something that's really sort of spreading and coming into the game. And Darren Ailes has spoken a lot about it with regards to how they do things over in the States, and you know, they're all sort of led and driven by fan experience, and he's definitely bringing that you know, to Tyneside, to Newcastle United, to St James's Park, and I for one can't wait to see it. Now it's with Newcastle City Council at the moment. I cannot imagine in a month of fucking Sundays that they are going to have any sort of issue with this. You're talking 150 extra jobs and all these extra places to eat and drink and have a good time in Newcastle. You know, for the tourists, for the fans, home and away, etc., etc. There's just so many positives, and it tidies up a good sizable patch of land and stuff as well. It's not another sort of faceless skyscraper type thing, you know what I mean? So again, ticking all of the boxes, and again another example of the new owners fulfilling the promises that they said when they took over the club. That's what I mean. You've got to trust them with regards to transfers and everything else on top of that, if they're doing so much of the other stuff right, and which they promised to do at the very beginning. So yeah, unbelievable. So just great news all over the shop today for me, and yeah, long may that continue, long may that continue. A couple of transfers going out, some more coming in as well, and the squad shaping up also nicely, and a game tonight or this morning, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, let me know what you think about all of the you know, the developments, all of the news out in Newcastle United today down below in the comments. Subscribe to Magpie 24/7, and yeah, we'll be watching the match, and yeah, you know, kicking every kick, heading every ball, and we'll have the review of the game up on Magpie 24/7 tomorrow, just as soon as possible. And who knows, might have a bit more transfer news to be able to bring. But it's certainly, things are heating up. It's not just the temperature over in Atalanta. It's all the action. It's all the action. But looking forward to tonight, seeing what team Eddie Howe goes with. Hopefully not that three at the back again. That would be my one hope. Go 4-3-3. Go back to a little bit more, you know, what brought us to the Lord's Bear show and all that sort of thing last season. That would be great. It would be absolutely great. But yeah, let me know what you think down below. And in the meantime, subscribe to Magpie 24/7. Take care, keep it Toon, and I'll speak to you later.